everybody, and welcome to the Football Philosophy channel. Don't worry, Ollie hasn't gone anywhere. I know on the thumbnail it says Pochettino, what's he ever won? Like I say, Ollie's not gone anywhere, but the vultures are circling. All the press are talking about it being either A, this is a must-win game. If he doesn't win at Goodison, he'll be gone. But some are even suggesting that no matter what happens at Goodison, that he'll be gone. That the wheels are now in motion, that United have supposedly spoken to Pochettino now, and that it's only a matter of time, no matter what happens. So, which is true, I don't know. Obviously, the club, as always happens, the club have made a statement saying that no matter what happens this weekend, Ollie's not going anywhere, that he isn't getting sacks. I'm not suggesting that he should. I'm not suggesting that Pochettino's the only man in the frame. Obviously, the newspapers do seem to think that it's only Pochettino, and that he's already been spoken to. The club statement, that's just, you know, normal. It's the dreaded vote of confidence, really. I mean, some people might argue that once they give you the vote of confidence, that means you're going to be out within a week or two. So all that remains to be seen. So the point of this video really is if you know, if the worst does happen and that Ollie's gone within the next week or so, or next few days, is it Pochettino's job? And the main point of this video is to discuss Pochettino's past history, and is it fair that particularly United supporters, obviously, because a lot of United supporters turn around to me and say, you know, what's he ever won? Why do we want Pochettino? Well, here's my defence of Pochettino. I'm not, and don't get me wrong, I'm not absolutely banging certain that it should be Pochettino who gets the job. I'm not shouting for him. I'm just arguing against that particular point. Pochettino took over Spurs in season 14-15 season. He'd done a good job previously to that at Espanyol. From Espanyol, he went to Southampton. Obviously, smaller clubs compared to the big clubs and compared to Manchester United. It's not often that managers make the jump from a club like that to United. It has happened, but it's not often. So Pochettino ended up at Spurs, having done a good job at Southampton in 14-15. In 2014-15, Spurs finished fifth, which was a decent position for Spurs. The following season, 15-16, they finished third. It was Spurs' best finish since 1990 in Pochettino's second season. Now, from that point, Spurs 16-17, 17-18, 18-19 and 19-20, 4 seasons in a row qualified for the Champions League. Now, previous to that point, they'd only ever once finished in a Champions League place before. They'd only ever been in the Champions League in 2010-11. So having been in it once in its history, under Pochettino, suddenly they were in the Champions League 4 seasons on the bounce. Now then, qualifying for the Champions League, you might say, well, that's not winning anything. Well, I'm not saying it obviously it isn't winning anything. It isn't actually winning a trophy. But I would suggest that the way United are at the moment, that if somebody could say to you that we will qualify for the Champions League for the next 4 seasons, it wouldn't be guaranteed whoever you took, by the way. But if somebody could guarantee you that you're going to be in the Champions League for the next 4 seasons on the bounce, I would suggest it might be a little bit churlish not to say, well, I'll take that, because obviously we're not, the way it's looking at this moment, this season particularly, we're not in it every year recently anyway. But, you know, this year, obviously Liverpool and City, I don't think they're going anywhere. Arsenal are looking strong. Mourinho's now got Spurs going. They're looking strong. Chelsea have spent a lot of money. Lampard's doing all right. I would suggest at the moment, looking at the league table, the way United are playing, the way the other big 5 clubs are playing, I'm going to come back to that big 5, by the way, but the big 6 as it is now. Used to be the big 4 not many years ago. But looking at the big 6, I can't see United at the moment finishing in the top 5. All of the other 5 clubs, City and Liverpool are not on the up. They're already there where they are. But the other 3 clubs, Chelsea, Spurs and Arsenal, all seem to be on the up and all seem to be, you know, have a picture of where they're going. all their managers are doing, doing good jobs. So I think finishing in the top 5 this season might be a bit of, a push for United if they do stick with it. Now then, what have Spurs won? This is what has Pochettino won? This is what's levelled at him. Obviously, you can't really expect to win a trophy if you're the manager of Southampton. But if you're the manager of Spurs, obviously it's a bigger club than Southampton. It's like stepping stones. He's gone from Southampton to Spurs, and now it's looking possible that he might go, his next job might be Manchester United. As I've just pointed out, he did get Spurs into the Champions League 4 times on the bounce compared to once in the previous history. But if you look at the other trophies as well, when people say, what's he ever won? I mean, first of all, would it be a big deal if he happened to have won, say, the League Cup or the FA Cup? In this day and age, people say that's not specifically a big deal anyway. But what I've done is I've gone back 7 years to the season that Pochettino took over at Spurs. And when Pochettino took over at Spurs, since that day, in the League Cup, even the big clubs do go for these trophies. In the League Cup, since Pochettino started at Spurs, Manchester City have won the League Cup 5 times, Manchester United have won it once, and Chelsea have won it once. And then in the FA Cup, Arsenal have won it 4 times, and United and City and Chelsea have won it once each. So if you're running one, and Spurs were one of the smaller clubs, by the way, when he took over, when the big clubs are taking those trophies seriously, what chance have you actually got of even winning one of those, let's call them smaller trophies? It's, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's a really, really, really difficult job when you're competing with the likes of City, Liverpool now obviously in the title. Liverpool have not been winning cups, but they've won the European Cup, they've won the league. But in the smaller cups, City, United and Chelsea have dominated it, and Arsenal, of course, have dominated it since Pochettino took over at Spurs. Obviously, to suggest that they could have won the league or the European Cup, he did get into the Champions League final. Lots of people will tell you, look, they had an easy run. They had a lot of luck with VAR decisions and stuff, which was new at the time. And maybe so, but they did get to a Champions League final under Pochettino, which is a astonishing achievement, really. So that's the cup, the League Cup and the FA Cup shared out amongst the other big clubs since he took over. Don't forget, they weren't, Spurs are a big club, but at the time, they weren't a massive club. And when he took over, people only spoke about the Big 4 or the Big 5 at the time. Originally, when people spoke about the Big 4, it was United, Liverpool, Arsenal and Chelsea. That was the Big 4 originally. Then City got money. And pretty rapidly, within a year or two of having investment, City became one of the Big 5. People started to talk about the Big 5. Now think about what Pochettino's done. Generally now people talk about the Big 6. Spurs are now ranked amongst the Big 4 as it was, or the Big 5 as it became, and now it's the Big 6. Spurs are part of the Big 6, not through having lots of investment, but by getting Mauricio Pochettino as their manager. Think about that achievement. It's absolutely astonishing what he's done. Spurs are now just generally regarded as one of the Big 6. That's through being in the Champions League 4 seasons on the bounce with Mauricio Pochettino as their manager. In the Premier League, obviously, you couldn't expect them to win that. In 25 years, only Leicester have managed to break up obviously it's been monopolised mainly by United, also by Arsenal at times, by Chelsea, and then obviously Liverpool have come strong again. Liverpool have just won it again. City came strong a few years ago. It's only been won in 25 years by those clubs, and apart from the one occasion where Ranieri obviously did an unbelievable, it's virtually a miracle what Ranieri did. It is virtually a miracle. So when you think that in 25 years, only Leicester have got amongst that's in 25 years, not 7 years, although it was within the last 7 years. And then since Pochettino's been the manager at Spurs, the 2 smaller cups have only been won, by the big clubs. So to actually level at him, that he hasn't won anything, and why should he become the manager of Manchester United? Well, you know, it would absolutely be unbelievable, really, for him to have won anything. He's managed to get Spurs as regarded as one of the big six. They were in the Champions League four times running. I would suggest to expect him to have won anything, particularly one of the bigger trophies. I would suggest that if anybody says that to you and levels it to you that Pochettino's not won anything, I would just say back to him that if he had won anything, really, it wouldn't have been far short of a miracle, really. Now, as I say, I don't know if Ollie's going to be gone soon. I'm not even saying that Pochettino's the man for the job. I am saying that anybody says that he hasn't won anything, I would suggest it's really, really harsh to use that as a reason to say we don't want this man as our manager. It's a ridiculous comment to say that he hasn't won anything. Think of it this way as well. If you're going to say that he hasn't won anything, particularly amongst in the Premier League or in the English, obviously the trophies in the English League, if you think about that, that's as if to say that you can only take a manager who was previously managed. You could take Ranieri because he's won the league with Leicester, and any other manager would have to have managed, really, United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea or Manchester City. Is that what you're going to close your net on? Just those, that is your spectrum of managers, that you only want a manager that's managed one of those clubs? I would suggest that would be a little bit silly. So, as I say, I don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if he's going to go or stay. You've got to think that there's no smoke without fire, the way the press are talking. Whatever happens, surely it must be a must-win game at Goodison Park. I hope United can get a win. It's a 12:30 kick-off tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. Desperate for United to win anyway. Whether that'll save Ollie's job, I don't know. But don't let anybody tell you that Pochettino's not the man for the job just because he hasn't won anything. It's a ridiculous comment. If you enjoyed that show, tell all your friends. Please subscribe. If you didn't enjoy it, keep stum, don't tell anyone.